Hello, my name is DeAndre Ray, and I'll be presenting my persuasive motivational speech on why vaping is bad for your health. Have you ever walked out of a building or walked into a room and it smells like cigarettes? The smell is so bad you can basically wipe the tar off the wall because of how long they've been smoking for? Well, if that's you, some people feel the exact same way when it comes to vaping. Yes, it may smell good, but it's still harmful to you, just as much as cigarettes are. Today, I'm going to explain to you on why vaping is just as bad, and I hope to get some of you to take action and stop. When smoking a cigarette, the carcinogens, hot air, and other chemicals basically weaken the wall of your lung, causing lung cancer. Eventually, you have a non-functioning lung. After a while of smoking, it makes it hard for you to breathe in and out air with very thin lung tissue. Over time, your lungs don't really work as well as they used to. And if you didn't already know, carcinogens is a scientific term for something that can cause cancer. Annual scientific sessions revealed shocking new heart side effects that come with frequent e-cigarette use. New research shows that those who use e-cigarettes are 56% more likely to have a heart attack and 34% more likely to have a stroke than those who don't. Now that's typically with e-cigarettes and doesn't always happen with vaping, but it does happen when it comes to young people because it's more common. Our body is still developing. Your lungs get inflamed just like you would when you get a cut on your finger. And just like the cut on your finger, the lungs essentially become red inflamed. Once the lungs are red inflamed, they can't really function how they used to by taking in oxygen and blowing out carbon dioxide. They essentially become a non-functioning lung, causing a shortness of breath. Once you have a shortness of breath, the doctors tend to put you on a ventilator with a breathing tube and a machine to help support your lungs since they're so damaged. In some cases, that's not enough. And the doctors have to put you in some kind of cardiopulmonary bypass or ECMO, keeping you on it until your lungs are able to heal and support normal air intake. Since vaping came around, there had been a significant decline in cigarette smoking, since people believe that vaping is way healthier. But there's still significant problems that comes with vaping. It isn't always lung cancer, but it can cause chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, which can lead to a life living on an oxygen tank, and no one wants to live walking around with an oxygen tank and breathing tubes around their face. The amount of carcinogens involved with vaping can give you popcorn lungs or bronchiolitis, which leaves your air passages inflamed and scarred forever. When people weren't really smoking as much cigarettes, it was a great public health victory. Would we really want to repeat what happened with tobacco by having it happen with vaping? We took such a big step on getting people to stop smoking cigarettes, and I think we should do the same when it comes to vaping. Cigarettes was popular in the 20th century. Now vaping is popular in the 21st. Vaping is unhealthy and in some ways can be worse than cigarettes. Vaping has been linked to serious diseases and even death because of the damaging effects on the lungs, even putting some children on ventilators. As I described before, an outbreak of lung injuries and disease associated with vaping as of January 21st, 2020. The Centers of Disease Controls and Prevention CDC confirmed 60 deaths in patients with e-cigarettes or vaping, the product associated with the lung injury. Cigarettes and vaping contain one product that makes them both addictive, which is nicotine. One of the most popular vape juice on the market contains almost 3 times the nicotine than a regular pack of cigarettes does. All vapes and cigarettes have one common chemical, which is formaldehyde, which is classified by the National Toxicology Program as a known human carcinogen. Vapes contain cancer-causing volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, like benzene, which is typically found in the exhaust of your car. There's also propylene glands, which is a slightly sweet-tasting chemical. You can also find it in antifreeze, and antifreeze is what you put in the radiator of your car to keep your car cool from overheating. That exact same chemical is also found in heavy metals that pollute the environment, such as lead, chromium, nickel, tin, etc. You can see that vaping is just as harmful as smoking a regular cigarettes. You can smoke a cigarette and it's gone, but with vaping, you can continue to refill your tank whenever it runs out. Think about it. Cigarettes and vaping both contain nicotine. Vapes contain just as much chemicals as cigarettes. Vapes can also be used longer than a cigarette. As bad as cigarettes are, I feel like vaping is just as worse. As Dr. Michael Joseph says, nicotine is a primary agent in both regular cigarettes and e-cigarettes, and is highly addictive. It causes you to crave a smoke and suffer withdrawal symptoms if you ignore the craving. Although some people believe that vaping is healthier than cigarettes, they must be living in a dream. Because essentially, vaping is just as worse, actually worse than smoking a regular cigarette, because you can always refill it and get that natural smoke that, well, not natural, what the hell am I saying? Just can't get it what you need. What? That's all. Thank you.